Here we go. Huh.
Get you in the mood.
Right? This is the kind of stuff you listen to, like, on the way, like, to go bodyboarding or surfing or something like that.
Yeah, get yourself all pumped up.
Yep, get all psyched up.
Yeah.
A little 311 intro there. Oh,
I
used to love 311.
Yeah.
I still like 311, but they have changed a lot. Ugh, come on. But seriously.
I love it.
I do still like them. But yeah, they've changed a little bit. But yeah, that's an awesome intro.
So you are listening to Let's Party, Prayer, and Punk Rock.
What's going on, people? I'm Drew.
And I'm Kat.
And this is Real Life with a Christian Twist.
Ooh.
Bam.
So we have watched a couple TV shows. One we have finished, and one we have started.
Right.
So I think we should probably start with the one we finished.
When we finished, all
yeah.
right.
What was that?
Only Murders in the Building.
Yep.
Steve Martin, Martin Short, Selena Gomez, and like a few other people. I can't remember their names.
Oh man, I love them. They are so good together.
Just
We've
finished the episode 10, so it's the end of the
finale.
season 2. Yeah.
It was good.
10 episodes in the season, and they're about 35 minutes apiece.
Yeah.
And yes.
Tolerable, you know? Like, it's not...
Yeah.
If you want to just have a little quick... something fun to watch before you go to bed. You're
exactly.
not committed to
you
like
can, like
an
knock
hour.
2 out or 1, depending.
But warning, if you do watch it, it streams on Hulu, and if you are not like a Hulu live TV person, you do get a little commercial.
Yeah, if you don't pay for all the live stuff, then you have to watch the commercials.
Yeah.
Which does kind of bum out, but...
I mean, it's always like a snack break or a pee-pee break.
Exactly. That's when you go to the bathroom, you know, or whatever.
But basically, and we have talked about it before, but just like a little recap, they are in like this high-rise building, and...
Right.
They're doing a podcast like us. So for me, it's really interesting to see how they don't show a lot about how they do their podcast. But
No,
just
not
to, like,
really.
Just to like have a show where they're doing something like we're doing. It's kind of fun.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, we're not talking about murders, which is definitely interesting, but maybe that's for another day.
That'd be kind of an interesting kind of podcast. Yeah, because it's like they're in this building, right? And then someone gets murdered, and they love to listen to podcasts, and then they realize that they've been listening to the same types of podcasts, which were like murder mystery ones.
Yeah.
And then since this happened in their building, they're like, well, dude, why don't we like try and find the killer?
Yeah.
And while we're trying to find the killer, you know, make it a podcast. And so it's kind of cool the way that they do it.
So you
know?
go through it with them, and every episode they leave you with like, oh my gosh, it's got to be blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it has to be this person. And when
they sort of poke fun at themselves, like in the season finale, you know, like, oh, well, if this is the way that our podcast is going to end, then this is really going to suck for a finale. You know, or something, you know what I mean? You're like, that's cool. I like how they're
And I was super shocked about who the killer was.
Yeah.
I had Did you have an idea?
I thought it was
towards
funny.
The end, maybe?
Yeah, like in the last episode, I figured when they started with the person's narrative, it was sort of like, okay, they're making a bigger deal out of this person, so maybe.
And they hadn't, but we don't want to give it away.
But they do that with all the characters because they did that with like one of the cops' characters, remember?
Yeah.
And then they do, and then they led you to believe that this person was looking at someone else in that bar, and they're actually looking at the, whatever,
all these other things. Don't give it away.
No,
but it's so good.
And Tina Fey does a great job as their opposing podcast murder.
Yeah. She's mean. Yeah. She's like mean and not very nice, which I've read all her books, like autobiographies. She's so funny.
Yeah.
And so I really like her.
She's funny.
Yeah.
It was like Meryl Streep's when she did the what was the movie? Oh God, that had Anne Hathaway in it. Devil Wears Prada.
Oh yeah.
It seemed like it was that kind of character Tina Fey's was, but just more funny.
Yeah,
and more like I don't know. It was really weird the way she was degrading.
Yeah. to her assistant.
Like, cut my toenails.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah, I don't really like her mean, but by now you figured out I don't like. Probably you've figured out that I don't like mean or bad endings or any of that. And so I feel like it was a good ending. It was a shocking ending. And, Steve Martin and Martin Short, they're both just classic and hilarious.
If you like their kind of humor, you're really going to love the show.
And I think I said this on one of our podcasts when we talked about it before, but I wish that Steve Martin was, like, my dad or something.
Your dad or your grandfather?
I know.
Costner
Kevin Costner's dad, and then no disrespect to you, pops. I love you. You're probably not listening. But like, I feel like they'd be good dads and grandpas.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah,
and it was cool at the end of the second season on Murders in the Building. Paul Rudd.
Oh yeah, he makes an appearance.
He's in the end, and they set it up for a third season. But Paul Rudd's cameo was like kind of like a bratty guy, like you shut up. Yeah, and it was like, man, that is like so much like he's like Steve Martin. To me, it's almost like Paul Rudd is going to like
continue
unfortunately, when Steve Martin passes. Yeah, he will be like
as he gets older.
Yeah, he'll be the new Steve Martin because he's got that same kind of humor and stuff.
Around.
You know.
Well, he was the sexiest man.
Paul Rudd,
alive or in the U.S. or whatever it was.
Yeah,
that was like last year.
People magazine or something like that. Because, they've, like, searched the world for everybody.
Yeah.
No one interviewed me.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Whatever. You don't even know. Awesomeness.
Yeah. But, no, that was great. But then we started watching another show.
Yes. So we watched, we're on, like, third episode?
I think, yeah.
This one's a little longer. It's about an hour and 10 minutes each episode. But this is Castle Rock.
Yeah.
So Castle Rock, well, explain... it's like
you want me to explain it?
Yeah, you go ahead and explain that.
Well, Castle Rock, I believe it's a fictional town in Maine, and it's where Stephen King always set his stories in his movies. Well, books. They're not really movies; they were really translated, but it was always Derry, Maine, or Castle Rock, and whatnot. And so this series is they take in Castle Rock is where it's set, but they blended a bunch of characters from his
other
previous books, and like this one is, and they give it all a solid story. Like this first season, there's 2 seasons, I guess, right now. I don't know if they're gonna make any more, but the first season is the Shawshank prison. It's all set in the prison. So if you've seen the movie Shawshank Redemption, that's what it's all. So it's set in the prison, and then there's this character in the prison that this lawyer's going to represent because he's going to be on death row, and then there's all these other things that they kind of show through there. But they like there's a character in this that's Jackie Torrance, which if you've ever seen The Shining, Jack Torrance was Jack Nicholson's character.
Right, so they do like little things.
Yeah, they
like
throw
that
little tidbits, or like he's looking through old newspaper articles and sees, rabid dog terrorizes community, which is Cujo.
Yeah,
or his mother, right, who is Carrie.
Carrie from
Sissy Spacek. Yeah, which is Carrie from Carrie.
Carrie. Right. I'm like, wait, what's the name of that?
Oh, right, Carrie from what was the name of the book? She asked her son or asked the caretaker or whatever to dig up her dog to make sure that he's still there, which is kind of like what they did in Pet Sematary.
Right. So there's all these
it's kind of cool,
But you have to be, a fan of Stephen King to pick up on all those things. Yeah. Where you pick up on them all and then tell me, and then I'm like,
some of those are good to Darren, though. My brother Darren.
Yeah,
he was Mr. Stephen King.
Shout out.
Yeah, Darren, what's up?
So we're into it. Third
episode. Yeah,
it's
so weird.
It's so good too. And then ends each episode. You're like, no.
Yeah, they do.
It's so close. I want to see what's going on next. And then it's already an hour, and then we're already in bed. It's like midnight, and I'm like, okay, we can't do it.
Yeah, I noticed the first 2 episodes are over an hour, and then the other ones are a little bit less. So 45 minutes or something. Maybe it's just to set up the story, or something. But
like we did with Yellowstone, every time we were watching Yellowstone, it would be like we have to watch 10 minutes into the next episode.
Before the opening credits, and then you're halfway through,
and then you're like, oh crap,
we'll finish it now.
Yeah. But that is it's a good story. It's good TV and good writing if you're so anticipated to see the next episode. What's going on? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the way they end it, I mean, if you put it on that note, wanting
you know what else we finished? Inventing Anna.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
That was Yellowstone.
We didn't really... Ruth. I don't know if we really mentioned that one much.
Okay, well, I don't even think...
Yeah, I don't think we talked about it much at all.
She is Ruth from Yellowstone.
Ozark.
Excuse me. Ozark. There's so many.
Yeah, the character that played Ruth in Ozark is in the show called Inventing
main
Anna.
Character, Inventing
Anna.
It's
based on a true story, right?
It's based on a true story where a girl from Russia comes back... or comes to America and lives along the New York high society people, and she talks her way into, free hotels and free jets and planes, and she just is like this talker, and everybody's fallen in love with her, and she claims she's an heiress of all this money,
Yeah,
and she
fortune.
tries to get 200.
She had a trust fund.
Yeah.
She was always cool.
She goes to like the highest executives and pleads her case that she needs like loans, and she almost, like, I don't want to give away the whole thing, but
I mean,
she's
she had New York by the balls.
Yeah, and she was young, like 25.
And a lot of people didn't like the fact that they bamboozled them, that she was able to really just totally trick them.
Yeah.
And blindside them. And I mean, they felt really, I guess, embarrassed. Like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that we almost gave like $40 million loan to this person who has nothing. And it was just.
Oh yeah,
it was crazy.
It's
the way
good,
that story
and I think
plays out.
I feel like the first couple episodes.
Man, it took a minute because
yeah.
there were like 2 or 3 episodes where you're like, okay,
I don't
this
know
is
if I
just
commit
like
to
whatever. But then when they start going over each character
and how they're
like
involved,
their timeline and how they're involved,
and how they connect to each other,
it got a lot more interesting because there's a character in there like Rachel, and you kind of feel like, dude, you feel bad, and then like. As they bring to light some other things, like, man, dude, she was really kind of, I mean, because I don't know if we'd really talked about this, but her character's like, I'm so traumatized, and they're like, yeah, but how much money have you made from this?
Yeah,
like,
right.
You have $300,000 here and a TV deal here, like.
Well, that's kind of spoiler alert. Sorry, y'all.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, that's a character, but
one of the characters, but.
Yeah.
Oh,
we have an ESPN update.
Hold on.
Well, we have the start of the Angels game.
Oh.
The Blue Jays. So
okay.
they actually, speaking of the Angels, they destroyed it last night.
They did.
Ohtani just killed it. I guess he struck out 9, and they won like 2-0.
Woo.
Their first win in 7 games. But
still a victory.
At least Ohtani's still doing it. He might not be there the next year, though. But,
oh, really?
There's some talk that he might move on, but I hope that doesn't happen.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Cindy, we'll have to call you back.
Yeah, Cindy, you're calling right now. I love you. Cindy's our friend in California. She's giving us a ring right now.
What up? Miss Long Beach, right?
She is Miss Long Beach. We should have her on our show.
Why not?
Totally talk about that. I tried out for Miss Long Beach and lost.
I don't know how that happened, but...
I don't know either, but it's fine. No, God, it wasn't. It's all in God's timing. Right? Yep. Rudy got sick like right afterwards. It was. Right. I couldn't have done it. So, but she did it. And she's awesome, and I love her, and we should have her on for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
We're gonna have Rich Green on too. The last episode before,
we
like with
Rich,
Jesse
yes.
Holly. Yep, he'll be coming on here shortly. So we'd like to start interviewing some people and maybe give. Like their God stories.
Yeah,
I think
their
that's
testimony.
really their testimony,
That's where they're coming from and whatnot. And just.
Yeah, if you have a good God story that you'd love to share, you can be anonymous and we can share it for you. Or. Exactly. You can come on our show and share it loud. And with. Today we went to church and the message was. One of the messages of the service was be extravagant in your worshiping. Mm-hmm. It's kind of what I feel. I'm always like raising my hands and dancing and like I'm always like very loud in my worship, So when he said that, I was like, heck yeah, let's do this. Let's have a party.
I'm not really much of a hand waver.
Yeah.
But you are.
I am. I'm a hand waver accidentally smacker.
Yeah.
You gotta get like
you
don't
almost,
sit next to me at church.
You're almost like it's like cats in the mosh pit, everybody.
So watch out. Give her some space.
Yeah. She's going by. She's gonna hit you with her kicker right now. Watch out.
Well, because I'm worshiping with my hands up and my eyes closed.
Yeah.
So if you're near me, you better be careful.
That's blind faith.
Exactly.
For the person standing next to you as well.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
Yeah.
We went to a gun show this.
We did. This was our first gun show.
This weekend.
Gun show for me and for you.
Yeah.
And we went to our first gun show in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yes.
It was awesome. That was a lot of fun. And we got some insight as to what we might be looking for and what we want.
Yep.
Whatnot. And we ended up picking ourselves up a nice little firearm.
Woo! We bought our first gun together, and look at that.
That's right. A
That's
Glock
so
48.
Awesome. Yep. And with a laser pointer, that was my
She
dream.
wanted a laser. Okay, guys, we've been on a Schwarzenegger kick apparently lately. We decided to get the Stars for 3 months, and they had like Kindergarten Cop and Twins on there.
Oh, that's so fun to watch those.
Those are
Twins
like old
was great.
School.
Yeah.
But we essentially had like inadvertently started watching a few Schwarzenegger ones. And we had finished watching Prey. And I was like, dude, come on, Predator. That's like one of the better Schwarzenegger ones.
Right.
And if you
He's been saying that for like 2 weeks.
if you like Prey, I guarantee you, Predator, you're gonna like. Did you like it?
I liked it.
I
don't think it's the
Schwarzenegger,
best.
It's a chopper.
But it's that line, which I've heard forever, and I'm like, which one does he say?
I'm pretty sure he says chopper in almost every movie. It's almost like, I'll be back. Although he didn't say that in Predator.
No.
That's interesting, because that was usually like his tagline he would do in a
But he did say it in Twins.
Yeah, exactly. So
I was like, wait a minute, isn't that from like the
Terminator
movies? I'll be back. But oh my god, like,
and that
Arnold
line,
Schwarzenegger's
they broke down, like, because when he did that movie Terminator, not to get on a side point, but like when he did Terminator, he only had like, I think there were like 13, 18 words that he spoke.
Oh yeah, because he was like the machine.
Yeah, he was a machine. So like they broke it down by how much he got paid for that role, and then how much he got paid every time he would say those words. So like, I'll be back. Like he made, it was like $250,000, $300,000 just saying "I'll be back."
OMG, sign me up.
And it was really that was when he said it in that for that movie. I mean, that was what stuck. It was like, dude,
everybody knows that
line. Yeah, and
everybody knows that. And get to the choppa.
Yeah. Get to the choppa. Yeah, and also it's not a tumor.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
There's like Arnold Schwarzenegger mantras.
Yeah, I know. Seriously,
we're doing
mantras.
Yeah, at church our series is mantras. That's
but
funny. But I did like Predator. I mean, I am was a little sleepy, so we had to turn it off and finish it the next day.
It's more machismo, and Jesse Ventura. I ain't got time to plead.
Yeah, right.
I'm a sexual tyrannosaurus. Or whatever he's always called it. Like, okay, whatever, go.
Yeah. Go be your hard self. Go on.
Oh, God, I think he passed, too.
Oh, did he?
I think he was governor of Michigan.
I mean, that was a long time ago that movie was made, and he was like a full-grown adult.
But the point of that story is that, so I don't know if it's because of that movie, but she wanted to go get a laser pointer.
Yes.
Because now it's like, so now, I think she wants to get the whole garb, though. Like, she wants to get the heat signature.
No.
And like walk around like Predator, like, I see your heat signature.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be fun. They have those, like, the little laser tag.
They have, like, infrared, or
and doing laser tag.
Yeah.
You could, like, pretend you're Predator doing laser
tag.
tag.
That is true. But yeah, so we did get a laser for the gun, but I don't think we got the right one because it's not
we have to get a new
connecting
one
correctly. Yeah.
Yeah. We're learning. And we have to get a gun safe. We have a case with a lock, so that's cool.
Yeah.
And the kids are very familiar with gun safety since their stepdad is a cop.
Yeah, their mom's dad, is a U.S. cop.
Husband.
Yeah. Or husband. Yeah, he's a cop, and he actually helped us determine what gun was good, and what was stay away from this one over that one.
Yep.
So it was a lot of good advice. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate it.
Totally.
But
so that was fun to go see that, and I like that there's like guns and then ammo and then purses and then guns and ammos and
hot dogs,
peanuts that are covered in sugar, and
or peanut brittle.
Peanut brittle.
Yeah.
Then the
I know,
peanuts with sugar, that spinny, that thing that we didn't go back and get the cone of peanuts.
Yeah.
We should have done that.
Oh, we totally, because what was it? Yeah, they're like cinnamon,
sugar.
Peanuts.
Peanuts.
Cinnamon pinnaments? No, I said pinnament, not penis. Cinnamon penis. I think they're playing tomorrow downtown.
Hey, we're going to see a few shows, actually.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, we decided, that we're going to get a few shows in.
Yep.
So we saw Sublime and Incubus last week.
Right.
And
that was cool.
We're going to
then
see
Strung Out.
And
Lagwagon. That's at the end of September.
Yes.
What is Lagwagon? You were saying that it's like a 30-year anniversary or something.
It's their 30-year anniversary.
Yeah.
So, God, 30 years they've been, and it's like it's like independent punk rock. They're not on the radio. They've been, it's like touring around in a van kind of thing.
Yeah.
They've been doing it for 30 years. It's crazy.
That is crazy. We should
Strung
maybe
Out's
add
kind of
a
the same way.
Lagwagon song to our podcast.
Yeah. We need to play a little bit. We definitely should. And then we're also Me First and the Gimme Gimmes.
Which I love, and we
great.
played on the podcast before, but I love that because they do all the...
It's all cover songs.
Yeah,
Right.
like songs I know the words to, but it's like, you know, like
Right.
punk rock.
And all the, like,
That's my punk rock.
different members from different from those different bands, like Lagwagon and Strung Out and Swingin' Utters and whatnot, they all kind of form.
Yeah,
And play Swingin' Utters. And Chris Shiflett from Foo Fighters, but I don't know if he's doing, well, I guess he'll have some free time, but I don't know. But that'll be a lot of fun. Because I know you like those songs too, the cover songs.
Yes.
They do a really good job on their covers.
like Don't Cry for Me, Argentina.
Yeah, exactly.
I was
It's like, how do you
whoa,
do
they made
that
that into a punk song?
And
Like,
it sounds,
geez.
and the guy Spike, he's got a good voice.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you got to have a certain voice to play that kind of punk song for sure, and he does a good job.
I'm really
Good
excited
harmony.
about that because when
Yeah,
we
that'll be
went to
fun.
the Sublime and Incubus songs, I got their concert when they played songs I knew. That's when you're having fun,
Yeah.
you know. It's so interesting.
not-
You just
yeah.
have to become familiar, and then it starts being a good song I like. Like I have to listen to it like 2 or 3 times, and then I'm like, oh, I really like that song because it is familiar now.
Sometimes you listen to a song once and it doesn't really hit you the same way. Once you hear it again and again, it's like, oh,
Oh
dude.
man, I really like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And those
so-
songs too, like even something like "Pardon Me," like Incubus would do, or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. You know, sometimes when they do a song like that live, and it just sounds different. And a lot of
Yeah.
the times, I mean, like I got into certain bands because I saw them live first.
Right.
And it was like,
Oh, that's
whoa,
cool.
dude, they are incredible. I got to go listen to their music, and then really you listen to that live sound.
Wow.
You know, so it's
I've
kinda
never
interesting.
experienced that.
No?
I've only ever gone to concerts after knowing the band. I mean, if I'm like at a bar and someone's playing, then of
Well,
course
yeah,
that's...
and sometimes it's the opening act, and
Right.
you're like, oh, dude, who is that? Okay, I'll
Yeah.
go listen to that CD, and then you start to follow them, and
but
something
like
that.
nobody that I've experienced at a bar first has become famous.
Really?
Yeah, but you know, you have, so that's cool.
No, I mean, well, like I was never a huge fan of like Bruce Springsteen. You know,
Yeah.
but then I saw them live, and I was like, dude, I have a newfound respect. I mean, he was 50 years old doing backflips off the piano, and
Oh my
and they
gosh.
played like 3 hours. I mean, it was
Wow.
ridiculous. It was a great show, and it was like, I got a new respect for this guy.
Yeah,
now.
for sure.
I mean, I didn't go out and buy The River and all these out. I just went out and bought the greatest hits. But you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But I mean, it gave me a newfound respect. Like I'd already heard of him,
Yeah.
but you know, obviously, who hadn't? But,
Right.
And they're actually going to be
I was
playing.
gonna
here
say,
soon.
aren't they playing somewhere? But the tickets are like ridiculous.
Yeah, when I looked online,
Like the
it
crap
was-
seat.
Whoa! It was like next year. Oh, it's our Life 360 app. Nathaniel.
Oh, yes. If you have teenagers that are gonna start driving,
It tells you.
it tells you, hey, hand me your phone there, friend. Thank you. I'm going
Going
to
to
turn
turn that
off
down?
your notifications. So,
Why? Why would you
because
do
I
that?
mean, you know,
It's so rude. But
Nathaniel
No, yeah.
is going to be getting his license here soon when we can figure out his social security information. It's been like backlogged
that
because
whole
of
thing
COVID,
is-
but
yeah.
it's nice that you can watch how fast they're going, or
Yeah,
if they're using
on the
their
app.
phone, or
2 mile
if-
drive at 39 miles an hour.
Yeah,
top speed.
you know, and
That's
I
kinda
trust
cool.
him. I think he's going to be a very, very good driver. You're a very good driver, and you know you've taught him. But he's like not a speed racer. Like he wants to make sure he's paying attention to the rules
Yeah.
and doing it right.
Oh
and all
yeah,
that.
he's
You know,
not trying to
like
get
a
behind the wheel
respect-
to see how fast he can go.
Yeah, no, nope.
Yeah, he's very sort
I
of
really
10
trust-
and 2 or
yeah.
9 and 3, whatever it is.
Whatever. 10-2.
10 and 2.
That's funny. Yeah, so that is happening this year. We have a senior, which is nuts.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
cool too. He's a senior going well right now he's a senior, he's 16 years old.
Yeah.
That's crazy. He's almost like
That's so-
Doogie Howser right now.
He's so smart, and he's in college classes.
Yeah, he's taking a couple of
College
video
physics.
programming. Yeah,
Stop it with your big brain.
that's right. Well, that's why that girl told him when he was like 3 years old, "You got a big old head."
There's like a little girl that said that to him. That's so funny. And that stuck. That was a mantra for Nathaniel. Poor Nathaniel.
Oh yeah,
He's such a good big brother, though. He's been like...
he is. He's a good
He
gentleman.
babysits our little ones and plays with them and encourages them. And he does like helps him with his homework, Sam.
Yeah.
You know, the math. I'm like, yeah, I don't know how to
Yeah,
do
he's
that,
helping
so
him with his
go ask
flashcards the other day,
Nathaniel.
Yeah.
Like Jen, Jen is his mother, and she was like, okay, I've been working on the decimals and turning into fractions, and fractions turning into decimals. I'm like, oh, that's cool. She's like, so if you need to, he may need a little bit of help. I'm like, yeah, that's not my department. I do not know how to do that. Oh, but Nathaniel does. Nathaniel has got his back and my back because I don't know how to do it.
There you go.
I'm sure at one point I did, but that just like goes away.
Oh yeah, there's some like I'll look at their homework and help them with their math or whatever, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like watching that show. Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Yes.
It's all this stuff like of course I know the capital of Delaware. It's
crap.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Delaware is still a state.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone that lives in Delaware.
I don't think we have any Delaware
people.
viewers, but maybe. Yeah. Who knows? You never know.
Yeah, I don't know. If you are out there in Delaware,
let us know.
What's it like there?
It is hot in Texas. Holy cannoli!
Netflix there.
It's like it's humid in Texas right now.
It is right now. Hopefully, this is going to be somewhat of the last week, but
yeah,
probably not. It'll
probably
be like
not.
187.
It's supposed to rain next week. Normally, that takes away the humidity.
Well, no. All around here, though, it's like monsoon season, so it's kind of it's like Hawaii. It's like humid
air.
and rain.
Yeah.
Air. It's like have a meal. You want to go outside and eat some air today? You like almost put topping on it. Float there. It's so thick.
It's like what is it? Cotton candy. As soon as you eat it, it like dissolves. And
it's kind of like that.
That's like I don't know. I'm getting on a tangent here, but cotton candy is not satisfying to me because it just dissolves right away. You're like, what? I don't like to chew something.
It's like cotton candy to me, is the equivalent of the big giant turkey drumstick. To me they're both useless because you're never going to finish that whole thing. You look like a fool carrying it around. There's not enough napkins to wipe yourself with. And it's almost the same thing with that. I mean, if you're either 5 years old and look weird, 20 years old and look weird, 8 years old and look weird, and then if you're my age, 46 years old, and you're walking around with cotton candy in your hand, you're like, and got all over your face, like that's not right. So those two things to me.
So what do you stick to at like an amusement park?
Park, I would say like popcorn.
Popcorn or pretzels?
Popcorn. Well, it depends on the pretzel.
Soft pretzel.
Like the soft pretzels. Yeah.
Or like a pretzel bite. Oh, that sounds good. That's making me hungry.
So good. Or like the churros sticks.
Oh yeah.
Or
although
funnel
they could get messy, and funnel cake is totally
messy.
That's
totally messy, but it's worth it.
Yeah, because there's like actual chewing involved.
Yeah.
We had funnel cake at the concert.
Yeah, and
I was like,
you like don't double up on the.
I'm all, give me some of that. Give me a lot of the white powder, and he's like, okay, I got you. He brings it back. I'm like, go get me a little more of that. and
they dumped it on.
Yeah, and then I was like, ooh, if you have too much of that powder, it becomes bitter, which is interesting.
Well, and you look like you have a cocaine problem.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And if you have a cold on top of it, that does not help at
Oh
all.
my god, no. Oh no. Well, I don't drink alcohol, so when we're at a concert, I'm like, give me all the bad food for me and let me treat myself to getting my serotonin level heightened in some sort of way.
I thought you were going to say like doing lines of powdered sugar or something.
No.
Okay. Right.
That would hurt.
Eating the food. Okay.
Eating, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, the funnel cakes though, those are tough to come. Sometimes they're
not done right.
Oh,
or if they get old, if they're like sitting there, it needs to be freshly done and given to you. Yeah.
The first one I ever
like
had.
Fries that get old. It's
like
not as good.
Yeah. No, you're right. Yeah. The first one I ever had was at Knott's.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's just because it's the first one I ever had, but it seems like those are like the best. Like it's kind of like when I think of carne asada, like a burrito, I think of that taqueria on 4th and Redondo.
Right.
Like that's what I think of when I eat a funnel cake. I'm like, okay, how does it taste compared to the one at Knott's? Because that was always.
I feel like it's never gonna measure up to the first one as a child.
And that's how it is. Like, and to me, I thought that Knott's made up funnel cake.
Oh yeah.
So it was like, they're the original, And then I realized, like, wait, Disneyland has it too, or we, come here, like, they have it there.
At carnivals and
right. And you're like, oh, okay, well then they didn't develop it, but it's still the best. But that's like
speaking of food, we went to a local restaurant here in Bedford for breakfast. Normally we go to Old West Cafe, which is good. Pretty dang good.
Yeah.
Lots of fun things on the walls to look at, and it keeps your kids entertained for a while. Yeah, signs.
John Wayne on a horse.
It's a typical breakfast spot, and it's good. And Drew will take one kid every Saturday there to have breakfast. They go like every other Saturday or whatever. But this week we went there, actually yesterday, and we go to get there and they're closed. And we're like, no! Because you're just craving it and your mouth is watering. Yeah.
And there was no
parking lot's
one.
empty.
I mean, there was not one car.
Nope, not even. Well, a car came in right before us, pulled into.
Pulled into the front. And we both, we were looking at.
Got out and looked at it, and it said like plumbing issues or something. So we went to another restaurant, which I'm gonna say, I have had it before with my Camp Gladiator people, but I forgot that it was good. But yesterday it was like fantastic. It's called Bacon's. Yep. And it had like bacon, man. It had bacon. Yeah, it's so good.
Actually, their bacon was good.
And
the prices were good.
They also have like lattes, also, which I think is a little extra up. They don't have that at the Old West Cafe.
No.
They also have cottage cheese there, which you're either like in or out when it comes to cottage cheese.
I
love cottage cheese. So yeah, I highly recommend Bacon's if you're in the area. You think that's Euless? Or Hearst or Bedford?
That's like either Hearst
right
or
past
Colleyville.
Chisholm Park.
Yeah, it's on Colleyville Boulevard, which is like Highway 26, I guess, right?
Oh, maybe it's Colleyville.
Right there in like the Tom Thumb parking lot.
Yeah, you can miss it if you drive by. So if you see Tom Thumb, pull into that parking lot and look for it. But there's definitely a wait, but the service is fantastic.
Well, even the wait. There were a ton of people waiting out front.
We didn't wait
still
long.
only took us like 10 minutes.
10 minutes. And I know they were getting...
the service was good. Yeah, you're right.
They were getting, a
lot of people.
From Old West, probably.
Yeah.
Because it was closed.
Yeah.
But I would have been stressed out. There were like 100 people in the restaurant and then like 40 people waiting. And this lady's like, hey, how y'all doing? What's going on? I felt like totally, she had given us all our attention. We even asked
for a cup of coffee.
She's like, sure, I can do that real fast for you. And, came to our table multiple times. I just like good service is just so important.
Well, and it's hard to come by these days.
Yeah. They even came to our table at the end to say bye. The hostess did.
Yeah.
And then we passed out our cards to our podcast.
And
we're like, hey, check us out.
And it was kind of interesting because that's how we ended up going to the Fort Worth Gun Show.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were sitting there talking about, we really need to get a firearm, da-da-da. And then the couple next to us was like, hey, just so you know, there's a Fort Worth Gun Show today. And we're like, oh my gosh, that's right. I'd seen those billboards going to work. I totally forgot about it, Or I thought it was a different date. I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And
we got a really good deal on our guns.
Yeah,
so that was good. And we got a good deal on the ammunition, too.
Yeah.
So we got like normal bullets for going to play at the range, and then we got hollow bullets for business at home.
Call them ball bullets. I've heard they call them ballpoint.
Oh! Now you know the lingo because you've been to the gun
9mm ballpoint, 124 grain. Essentially.
I went and I still don't understand that. So there you go.
That's what I learned.
Just point and shoot, and that's why we got the laser.
Right. Yeah, well, because they have hollow point too, which those are more expensive, and those are meant to do damage.
Right. So if someone were to break in,
those hollow them out. Or your ballpoint, that's your standard. Just shoot. I mean, they'll both do damage, but obviously, if you want to be able to
kill the intruder,
expand or whatnot.
I do feel safer knowing that we have that in our home to protect our children, protect us if somebody were to come in. There was also like this other vendor who was selling bats that he wrapped like barbed wire around and spray painted. It was like a whole
zombie theme.
Yeah.
Because he had the bats and the barbed wire. He had a skateboard
with like chainsaws on it,
it had
saw blades.
Yeah, saw blades like on the end of them, and then he put like a whole rail system down this, like a strap with around the trucks, and then it was like your shield with the blades on the bottom, so you could like cut heads off. And then,
it's like
Ollie.
Yeah, but we can get out. He's like, you can still ride it. I'm like, oh my gosh.
I'm going to go cut some heads off and Ollie over him, Mom. Be back.
I know. It's like the last kids on Earth.
Yeah.
When you live in, like, the whole world is zombies. I read that story to Jack a lot, so.
But yeah, it was a total theme. And, I mean, the bats were like $50, and they were all painted up. You could get like a Punisher one, or
I feel like my whole life I've had a bat behind my door to make sure, because I've not had a gun or something, So it's like I get the bat idea, and then there was also like ones that had bike chains glued to it and stuff, makes it heavier, and like a walking stick for like people with walking stick that have
you're
like
going through the park or something like that. Imagine if you saw
like,
some old guy going through it like chainsaw blades on the bottom of his chain. That'd be kind of crazy. Yeah.
I mean, it was clever though, for sure. And
No.
he spray painted it cool, so it could be art, too.
Would it be ironic if we got one of those bats with an Angels logo on it?
Yes, I think it would. Absolutely.
May the power of Christ compel you. No.
Yeah. Speaking of Christ, I would love to journey into Jesus today. We prayed over Jesus today, the Bible, together, asking, what you want us to talk about, Lord, guide us, we're
We say a
reaching
prayer
people
before a
here.
podcast. Yeah, and just what do you want us to do?
What do you want us to do or talk or help us, speak our truth or not mess up too much? And so we prayed over it, and
updates on your phone.
Yeah. We prayed over it, and we got Hebrews 13:20 through 21. I'll let you read it, baby.
All right. May the God of peace, who through the blood of the eternal covenant brought back from the dead our Lord Jesus, that great shepherd of the sheep, equip you with everything good for doing his will, and may he work in us what is pleasing to him, through Jesus Christ, to whom be glory forever and ever.
Amen.
Which is kind of ironic.
Exactly the
considering that,
answer to our prayer.
We're trying to, hey, help us to do what's pleasing to you and, reach people, or, how do we go about doing that? Because
Yeah.
sometimes I wrestle with that. I mean, we wrestle with all this kind of stuff every day, but it's honestly, being bear down bones truth, what we're doing, how we're doing it, with relation to, we're trying to do social events and movies and shows and all this stuff, are we doing it the right way,
Yeah.
and then blending God into it, are we doing it the right way?
Is this what you want us to do?
Is this you want us to do? Do you want us to add something else to it? Should we take out something, and so that, to me, that's what I, hope that I'm doing is, what is pleasing to him. And I feel that we are doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
And I feel that if we weren't, then, because then that's what I kind of relatively get to as well, is I think if we weren't, then God would probably guide us that way, right? Or if we did start to get off track, then maybe, hey, no, don't do that. Maybe the phone shuts down, or maybe, you know what I mean? Maybe we just get something
like a sign
that tells us that we are not doing the right thing. And I just, I like it because I feel like we are.
Yeah.
And it's
and
sort of
kind
nice
of, it
to
says,
open up to that.
Yeah, hey, the
As we
peace of
pray
God
for it.
is going to be with you while you do this. So,
Yeah.
So I definitely think it's an affirmation. And I love Jesus Calling, and this is Jesus Today, but it's by Sarah Young, and, it has touched so many lives, these books. And, of course, it's Bible scripture that she puts in there,
Right.
so that's the Bible that's touching all of us, and messages from God. And I talked about Rachel last podcast, actually, my cousin, and she posts a Jesus Calling every day, and it's just so interesting because it really does apply every day to one of my situations.
Yeah, it's interesting. Every now and then I might not that was something I did deal with
like a while
such
ago,
and such
or
ago, or
something.
something.
Like it's relatable.
But
still.
most of them are oh my gosh, that's just what I was thinking, or
Yeah.
I was going to do that, or I just went through that.
Yeah, it's so beautiful how God really speaks to us in all the different ways, through nature, through the look of a stranger, or the look of your children,
Right.
the eyes of your children, or your spouse, or all these different ways. It's so beautiful to know that he is, if you're searching him, he's searching for you to find his messages too.
Exactly.
And
he'll guide you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? If there's, God's got a way of working through your lives and through other people's lives.
Right.
And if it was something that he didn't agree with, then we would know.
Yep.
I mean, that's for sure.
Yep. If it's smooth,
If he had to drop this whole garage down so that we couldn't podcast.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Or maybe he doesn't like our playing. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. No.
But
Yeah, you've been playing the drums a lot. We're going to have one of your songs going out one day, or a coming in song.
well, we gotta,
A little drum and
need,
yeah, no, you need
Gotta
a bassist.
and some
I know.
guitar.
A guitar and a family band.
We can and a family band, and you are invited. That's a horrible.
So what are we going out with today, speaking of the music and all that.
Well, I thought that we'd do one of our favorites that we like. We are a fan of, well, along the lines of like Incubus and Sublime, I guess more Sublime, sort of that dub reggae vibe that we like. You know, Slightly Stupid.
Yeah. Yep.
Sure, people have heard of them. They sort of have that. They carry on that torch as well. Sort of that dub reggae ska.
You gonna skank to this song?
This one's not much of a skank. This one's a little bit more mellow. And in fact, since we were talking about Bruce Springsteen, they do a cover song of one of their songs. So I thought that we do that cover, and it's called "I'm on Fire," and this is by Slightly Stupid.
I love this song. Thanks for listening, guys. We love you.
Love you guys.
Hey little girl, is your daddy home? Did he go and leave you all alone? I got a bad desire. I'm on fire. Tell me now, baby, is he good to you? Can he do to you the things that I do? I can take you higher. I'm on fire. Sometimes it's like someone took a knife, baby, edgy and dull, and put a 6-inch valley through the middle of my skull. At night I wake up with the sheets soaking wet, with the freight train running through the middle of my head. Only you can cure my desire.